Hello. Thank you for stopping by the My Reader Minutes. For those that are new here, welcome. To all my new subscribers, thank you for joining me on my journey. I wanted to talk about Kenya Moore. Now, I know a lot of people have already talked about her, and this might be old news to some of you, but I wanted to come out here and give my 2 cents because I remember talking about Kenya Moore when she first did that despicable thing when they were filming season 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And, it was during her grand opening, grand opening of her hair spa. And instead of promoting her business, she decided to drag one of her castmates, Brittany. And she did it by parading these images in front of people that did not show her in the best light. Okay. Um, in different compromising positions, okay? And then talked about how she was such a fraud in the insurance business and all that kind of stuff. She went like the whole 9 yards to degrade this girl. Well, when she did that, everybody was in awe. People were leaving. They couldn't believe she did it. I could believe she did because I've always thought Kenya was a mean girl. Always thought Kenya was a mean girl. But once she did that, I think Bravo realized, or the production company of Real Housewives of Atlanta, thought that she might have taken it a bit too far. And at first, people thought maybe she had help from the production company to actually even go through with that. But I don't think that was the case. But she did say she dug online for different pictures, even though she only showed, she said, one. And that must have been the one that showed somebody's anatomy in her mouth, right? I don't know. But the fact that she went and dug up stuff online and then paraded it in her business, because that wasn't what people were there for. People were there to get the Kenya Moore hair care experience, and you want to drag one of your castmates. Now, I get it's TV. I get they were filming a reality show, and a lot of mess is drummed up, but how far should one take it? Well, anyway, I guess she's had some time to think, and she realizes different ventures that she's gone into have not probably panned out. Now, I know the last venture that she was trying to promote was this children's book for Brooklyn. Brooklyn Does Paris, or Brooklyn in Paris, or something to that effect. And there was some mishap on Amazon. Like they had put the book out there. I think the book stayed online for about 2 hours, and then they said they were out of stock. I don't know if they took the book down or what have you. I don't know what happened, but it did something happened with the book not being on sale for very long. Anywho, she goes on the Tamara Hall show, and obviously, I guess it came to a point where she realized that she had to take full responsibility, and she kind of admits it. So, let me see here. I brought this up, and it just, it just says Kenya Moore takes full accountability for the Revenge P scandal. And it just says Kenya Moore is taking full accountability for the Revenge P scandal that left her broke. Kenya spoke out on the allegations of Revenge P against Real Housewives of Atlanta newcomer Brittany Eady in an appearance on the Tamron Hall show. The single mom addressed allegations that she shared X-rated photos of Brittany at a public event. Bravo fired Kenya after internal investigations into the allegations. Kenya previously denied sharing the graphic photos and vowed to prove her innocence. She said she is in talks with Bravo, and producer Andy Cohen has been supportive of her. Kenya said in hindsight, she would not share the distasteful photos again. She only shared the photos as a storyline on RHOP. Well, we know you did. And we know you were trying to get back with Brittany Edie for whatever she did or said to you, because that's how you do. She says, hindsight is always 50-50. Wait a minute. I thought the phrase was hindsight was 2020, with the take on 2020 being perfect vision. What the hell is 50-50? I mean, I don't know. Sorry, I don't, maybe I missed something. If I could do it all over again, I believe the photos were very distasteful and I elevated the situation. I've elevated situations before and I've taken full accountability for the things that I've done, Kenya told Tamron Hall. Kenya tearfully apologized and admitted that she did not have to take their feud so far, but she said she was protecting not only herself but also her daughter. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're trying to say you outed this girl's public past, public past, because you were trying to protect Brooklyn. I think I remember hearing her say in the interview that she felt threatened by Brittany Edie, like she made some type of comment that she carries pow pows for people like her. And the only thing she could think about, like, if something really happened to me, who would Brooklyn have? And I'm like, okay, girl. Insider says Kenya is broke and desperately in need of money after she lost sponsorships with Sally Beauty Supply and other retailers. Yeah, I remember that too, because they took her products off of the shelf after she did that distasteful thing on Real Housewives of Atlanta. It did not go well. Sources says Kenya is living off the proceeds from a book she wrote with her daughter Brooklyn. Brooklyn appears alongside her mom on the Tamron Hall show to talk about their children's book. So, what y'all think about that? Now I know a lot of the content creators that are Team Twirl went to bat for Kenya. And rightly so, that's their fave, right? But they couldn't fathom that, oh, they know that Bravo did this to her, the production company did this to her. It wasn't, she didn't do that, but she's admitting to it. And I remember one distinct content creator that, swore up and down that Michelle Brown, ATLian, I love that girl. She came out with it, but she was sitting outside when the thing happened because she pulled up to the grand opening because she was initially invited. I remember that, but she decided not to go because somebody gave her a heads up and called her ahead of time and said that they were going to probably try to humiliate her on camera, and that's what made her say, "Oh no, I'm not going." But she still showed up outside. She just didn't go in. But once the unveiling of the photos happened, she saw people leaving and she could tell what was going on. They were not happy with Kenya when she did that. A lot of people left because they were like appalled. And I remember that. So, yeah. But the one content creator, and I'm not going to mention their name, but I noticed that they have not made any content about it. So, I'm assuming they don't want to address it. Just saying. And it's okay. It is what it is. And I hope that Kenya can work it out. And I hope she gets back on the show. She is good TV when she's not jumping over the edge. I remember the other thing that I remember Kenya did with that whole thing with Tanya. I thought that was horrible too. When Tanya just came back and said Kenya wears wigs. I don't know why and she wasn't saying that she didn't have natural hair. She wasn't saying she didn't have edges. All she said was, "See, Kenya wears wigs." And Kenya got offended. But what did Kenya do? She goes and gets the cookie lady, supposedly, that Tanya's, at the time, I guess, fiance had flirted with or tried to holler at or whatever. And she brought her in front of Tanya. And then she called Tanya a CUNT. So Kenya goes for the juggler. But in this case, I think she went too far. But anyway, like I said, I hope she works it out. Hope she gets her job back. Don't want to see anybody without a job. So If Andy is welcoming her back, then nine times out of 10, her chances of getting back on the show will be successful. So I wish her the best. And hopefully she's learned from this. Stop with the mean girl antics. I don't like mean girls. Giselle on Real Housewives of Potomac is a mean girl. And I don't like her antics. Yet this season, without her sidekick, Robin, she can't be a mean girl. She's got to interact with all the girls. And she's more pleasant to watch this season. Nobody likes mean girls. Every now and again, you like to have a villain or whatever. But to a certain extent, when it gets to be dark and people are feeling ostracized and isolated, they can't have no real show when people are feeling marginalized and things like that. That's just not. How are you going to be in harmony when you're always beefing, always going at each other, being real toxic? Nobody likes that. We, as viewers, try to get away from our toxic situations, if we have any. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we come to reality shows, so we can be indulged and engrossed and immersed in something more positive. Think about it that way. That's where I'm at with it. Anyway, y'all, before you leave the building, like this video. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe. Everyone be blessed. Peace.